Greetings, welcome. Bear with me. Thank you for stopping by. Happy Sunday. Just give me a moment. Come on in. How do you say? Take a internet seat, if you will, here at Bloom from Within Love. This glorious Sunday. Somebody said, hi, happy Sunday. Hey, happy Sunday to you. I believe today is September the 11th, I think, 2022. Hey, hello. Whoever that is coming in saying, hey, welcome, come on in, come on in. Later on, you guys, we will be doing a reading, but this is not the reading, okay? So I'm just going to have a little discussion and see how you guys feel. Let's play with it. Let's have some fun. For those of you who are interested, if this is not your cup of tea, it's all right, okay? No qualms, no harm, no foul. It's all good. You may want to come back later when we're ready to do the reading. But for those of you who this topic, is blah, 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 blah. It's interest to you, okay? In 2022, how do you date? How do you date? How do you date? How do you have fun? But how do you date? Okay. Of course, we're going to hear, topics like everybody's going to say dating sites, da, 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 da. Okay. Okay. We got that. But like bring it in more practical to the actual events. How do you date? See, for somebody like me, old school, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Bloomy Bloom is up there in age, okay? Oh, Bloomy Bloom is up there in age. Oh, sister girl done lived, okay? She done lived. She done been around the world. She done lived, okay? And so, but my generation, we didn't, technology was just barely starting to kick in, barely, okay, for the general public, my generation. So for us, as we were coming up, stuff was still just like regular and shit, okay? Stuff was still regular, you know. You were lucky if you had a pager, you know what I'm saying? A brick phone and shit, bitch. Well, you know what I'm saying? Stuff was just still very, very basic. Very, very basic. At that time, everybody still, for the most part, okay? For the most part, it was even playing field. We didn't have a lot of full access to all the things that we all have access to now. So everything was kind of basic, standard, regular in terms of dating, in terms of how you went about that, in terms of who the, possible options were. It was pretty much standard. So in 2022, I'm curious to see how some of y'all feel or what you think, or how do you personally, if you're not already married or tied down or whatever, okay, how do you date? And what does it entail? So is it still where you meet somebody, you go out? How are you guys doing that? Because in my time, I'll admit it, it wasn't the wisest thing, but it was very common. Everything was almost instant relationships. Everything was instant together. Back in high school, you know what I'm saying? We used to call it go together. Y'all go together. We don't even talk like that anymore. But in high school, we used to call it, you gonna go together. And then when you finna break up, we used to call it, you finna quit them. Right? I don't know if y'all remember that. But this is y'all really are picking up on Bloomy's age here, because this was way back in the day, okay? Um, y'all was going together and then somebody was thinking about quitting. Oh, they gonna quit you, right? And it's like instant, I'm telling you. If you sit down and think about it, if you're in my generation, now if you're not in my generation, you're probably not really relating much to this, but it was like y'all liked each other and then y'all was together, bitch. Okay, it wasn't no, somebody says I'm single as fuck. Right? I feel you. I feel you. Look, ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, in 2022, hell, I'm kind of starting to wonder if being single is the new, you know what I'm saying, the new married and shit. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. So, check. 2022. Especially in the times that we're in where not everything is as it seems. We're dealing with a lot of more lunatic-y vibes, okay, than we used to. I mean, it was still there back then, but I think, I don't know, it just seemed to become more and more prevalent. Maybe the more access that people have had to a lot of more shit, took people into madness or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But now, how do we just get to have fun? You still want to be evaluating a person. How do you date? What's fun? Throw some out there. Do you meet somebody at Stater Brothers? If you're in California, San Bernardino County, do you meet somebody at, Stater Brothers? And then you guys go out for coffee, and then what? What happens next? What is your form of fun? Is it still going to the movies? Is it still, what the hell is folks doing now? Shit, bitch. Somebody says, totally agree with that. Too many crazies. Somebody's I know, right? Like, look, you don't want to be paranoid, but it's like you can't help but, you can't help but wonder. After a while, you kind of be like, hell, shit. What's going on and shit? That Marvin Gaye song. What's going on? What didn't happen to these motherfuckers? They didn't went to the left, okay? So with all that being said, how can you, let's say you're a person, even look, check. Even those of us that are on this ascension path, I know that some of you all are really kind of wondering, like, okay, how do we, how can we do this? Because so we don't have to kill a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Kill a motherfucker. How can we go about normalcy, having a good time, getting to know someone, and, letting your hair down, if you will, if you're a girl, and if you're a guy, taking your hat off, or whatever the fuck y'all say that's equivalent to that saying. Okay? Like, without needing to kind of side eye motherfuckers that you're trying to have a good time with, get to know, without feeling like, am I going to have to shoot the bitch? Because look, it's going to be them or me. They come over here with the crazy, you know what I'm saying? I ain't playing with my life. So the motherfucker looking on a strange, they going to get got. Okay? They going to get got like a motherfucker. Somebody said, it really depends on the person and common interests, etc. Okay, fair enough. Okay. So, okay, common interests. Well, but do people, okay, for an example, like I said, since I am from an older generation, and I still kind of have a little bit of that same flavor. So, do people even still just do it regular where it's like, okay, you meet and say, hey, let's go have the cup of coffee and chit chat. Then the next one, like, let's go. Do we still go to the movies, or the movies is not what we do anymore? Do we still go to the movies, dinner and a movie? That used to be classic, dinner and a movie. Way back in the day, it was the drive-in. Some of y'all don't know nothing about that. Okay? Way back in the day, that's when, you know what I'm saying, whoop, shoot, you be in the car, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And when you came from meager means, people be cheating and shit because you're supposed to pay. You're supposed to pay. I forget how this shit used to go, but then it's like people be cheating and they'll have somebody either hiding in the trunk or somebody land on the floor in the back seat with a blanket to get in the drive-in, man. Y'all, that's back in the day. And it was horrible. Like now that I think about it, it was like usually the reception, it depends on the station it was connected to, but it's like the visuals were not all that great, but it was, it was what we did. It was how we hung out and talked, and, it was two movies. And well, some of y'all know, like when we were teenagers, like that was the only way you were going to get to make out. Okay. Okay. So, but now I sincerely want to know, because I'm like, well, when you're getting out there, is it still safe to date anymore? Like back in the day, it used to be okay where it's like the guy, he would come and pick you up from your house. Okay. That was standard. And, that was, said to be chivalrous. He wouldn't just sit outside and honk the horn, bitch. You know what I'm saying? These lazy fucks nowadays. You know what I'm saying? He would get out the car, come, ring the doorbell, knock on the door, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just putting it out there. Is that even something people are still doing? Is that even considered safe to do anymore? Considering nowadays we just don't really know. We're getting such a mixed bag of things. Back in the day, as it pertained to being in high school or college, usually everybody knew everybody, or somebody's mama knew somebody's mama, or the grandmother, or the drill team bitch, or, it was like these connections that it would be very hard. If something were to happen crazy, it would be easily traceable. Okay. But nowadays, you know what I'm trying to say? It's just not that simple. Joe Schmo you met on swipe left, swipe right, pick-a-hole.com. Okay? It's not that simple. You don't know who that person really, really is. All you know is the pictures that they have shown on that particular profile, whatever they done copied and pasted from somewhere else. That's cool sands for motherfuckers to like you. Wait, somebody says, LOL, I never give my address. Times have changed. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying though, like for realsies, look, I'm not against, I'm not saying I'm anti technology or anti dating sites. I'm just saying that it comes with so much more responsibility than back in the early 90s when most everybody knew everybody in a small town of Compton and shit, bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, this shit gonna be easily traceable. Things done changed. Okay, you can be meeting somebody online that is a psychopath. Okay, a lot of sociopathic people usually have a lot of those types of profiles because and again, I'm not saying everybody, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong. Okay, technology serves. It certainly helps us to be able to connect in times where maybe it's not that easy to physically connect. But if you go into like forensics, criminal forensics and all of that stuff, a lot of psychopaths and sociopaths, they have all these various platforms and they have all of these, online profiles and so forth. And, but you don't know that. Do you see where I'm going? How are you supposed to know that? Just on the regular, right? Just on first glance. How are you supposed to know that? Okay. Especially if they have, a handsome or beautiful looking picture and they got all the cool sayings, bitch, to make the motherfuckers be like, ooh, ah, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But for all you know, it's a crazy. For all you know, it's a crazy. And, they give you all the attention you want and it seems like American dream, but you don't know that it's a crazy on the other end. How do you go about it now? This is why I think you guys have heard me say, if you followed me long enough, you hear me tell different stories. And you've heard me say, I actually prefer meeting people in my Clarita Kent mode, but I prefer meeting them in person. I really, really do. And those two things are like my primaries, because if those two things, I'm going to be able to get the most out of some shit. Okay. If I'm in my Clarita Kent mode, I'm not fanciful. I'm not flashy. I'm very understated. So when people are approaching me in that manner, it's telling me something about them too. Okay. And when I'm in Clarita Kent, I'm not saying I'm raggedy, you guys. I'm just simply saying that I'm very downplayed. I don't have on any makeup. I have on a hat. I have on yoga gear. There's nothing fanciful about, the appearance. So I use that. I use that as okay, let's start right there. Boom, bitch. Okay. Well, and then that's my starting point. I love that. I love that, because then that's telling me that, okay, are they going to accept you in your bare state? Okay. Everybody is going to be in awe when I let my goddess out, but are they going to be able to accept me in my bare state, which is going to be basically every day? If you end up getting in a connection with them or in some type of a deep relationship, at some point, they're going to see your everyday version. When y'all's in the house, when there ain't no special occasion, when, y'all ain't trying to impress, well, that's why I do that. Okay. Because it lets me know then they'll be able to accept that. The other thing is in person is because you don't get all of this pre-fluffed shit. Okay. When you're online, it's all this pre-fluffing. You got the profile. Everybody got their pictures, bitch. Everybody got their sayings. I'm a Gemini. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm a Gemini and I'm just a wonderful man. And, I'm just this really wonderful guy. Well, who's going to go in there and say I'm a horrible fuck? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody's going to go on and say I'm a horrible fuck. You ought to run. So, but we be getting caught up because it's saying all these cool sayings or whatever, right? When you meet people in person, you get to feel their in-person vibe immediately. And there was no plan. Do you see where I'm going? Chance. It's chance versus, you go online and then y'all plan to meet. It's still some fluffing in that shit. Do you see what I'm saying? It's still some fluffing, bitch. But when you just by chance meet a motherfucker, see, I likes that energy because you're seeing them without them being able to fluff, just like they're seeing you. You see what I'm trying to say? So, you'll be able to feel them out, bitch. Be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me check them out without them fluffing. Because, see, they didn't know and I didn't know. Now we're going to be able to feel each other's vibes out. This is what I prefer. But that's not always, we can't always do that. And so I'm just curious to see what some of you all think out there. Like, how do you do this now? Because Earth is about the full spectrum of experience. So how do you, date and have a good time, all the while keeping wisdom and being mindful of your life? Because there are people whose American Psycho the subtitle should be these motherfuckers. Names and shit, bitch. Because that American Psycho movie is the picture of illusion. To the world, it's this way. But after dark and their habits and what they're really doing, the motherfucker gone. Okay, he gone. He killing motherfuckers and shit. But he work at the corporate office. Help Bloom, y'all. Help us. So share your ideas. Share, if you're on an ascension path, especially, I'm really interested to hear from you all because your senses are heightened. It's a bittersweet to that. There is a bittersweet to those heightened senses. Your senses are heightened, but with that heightened senses, it's almost like you can smell the depravity too. And it's like, wow, damn, bitch. it's not too sound upstairs, you know. You don't want to be cruel. You don't want to be mean. You don't want to be judgy, but you also don't want to put yourself at risk due to someone else's fucked upness in the head. Okay. How do you do that? When do you become comfortable? Somebody said it depends. Wait. Somebody says, yup, watching such shows and series like Tinder, Swindler, make me hyper, right? I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling you. I done seen the shit. I done seen the thriller shit. This shit is thriller. I seen thriller shit. This shit's crazy. Wait. I'm trying to see. Somebody has said it depends on something, and I guess totally agree. Oh, the person and common interest. Okay, so when do you become comfortable, or how do you get through these phases? This is something I'm constantly evaluating, by the way, and I'll always share, you know, my journey and what I learn or what my guides come in eventually help me to understand. But I'm putting it out there for those of you who are on similar paths, and maybe to get you all to start thinking and then sharing your story or your perspective on that. Because I'm very old school. I'm old school in a way. Okay. I'm old school without the pretension. I'm old school without the hypocrisy. I'm old school, okay, in a sense of just being down to earth, very basic. But I'm not limited. So I'm a free thinker and I'm open-minded, okay, which is not what a lot of old schoolers carry, is rare. So old schoolers have a tendency to be very rigid. That works against them. But, you know, being down to earth, being very basic, meaning I don't need a lot, I don't take a lot. You know, I see value and take delight in the simple things of life. But nowadays it seems like, I don't know. I don't know what the hell done happened to motherfuckers, men and women alike. So I'm not biasing this to, you know, just men. No, I know some crazy women too. So trust me when I tell you what I know. I got a lot of them in my blood. Okay. I know some crazy women. So I'm not biasing this. I'm just simply saying, what the hell happened? How do people have fun? How do people date in a safe yet fun manner? Shit, safe yet fun. How do you do it? I would love nothing more to be able to be in my natural frequency, which is very different than Earth School, but my natural frequency of, you know, butterflies, you know, shit, and love, and people ain't gonna do crazy shit. Yes, people are, because people is gone and checked out, bitch. Okay. But I would love nothing more than to be able to be that. Oh, let somebody come pick me up at the house. Nah. See, let me tell y'all something. Should I say this thing? Should I share it? Because I'm funny now. Should I share this part? Look, I'm funny now to the point where I don't want everybody to know where I'm at. People are weird. I know how to respect boundaries. So for an example, like there's a couple people that I no longer talk to since I even came out of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? There's a couple people that I was talking to, right? Whoa. And there's a couple people that I stopped talking to. And guess what? I'm not trying to frequent where they live. I'm not trying to find out where they live. I'm not trying to frequent where I met them at, or, you know what I'm saying? Because essentially it's like, okay, that's that. I'm done. I'm not dealing with them anymore. They're not dealing with me anymore. I have a healthy mind in this respect. But what I've noticed, this is why I'm bringing up this topic, what I have noticed is, but not everybody do. They be creeping and shit on a creep tip shit, bitch. Weird. Driving up and down, your street and creeping and looking at your house and shit. It's like, what the fuck? Listen, I'm not talking about situations where you just broke up with this long-term relationship, or you just broke up with this commitment you had and they ghosted you and now you're going over to their house the next day. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about other shit. And it's like, okay, weird. Dude, we just went out on a date. Like, why are you here? Why are you following me? You know what I'm saying? Like, people just strange. And So with that being said, y'all may be saying, okay, so what do you recommend then, Bloomy? What do you recommend? Well, to each his own. First and foremost, it's your life. You know what you're comfortable with. You know who you are and where you're at. Hopefully you're being as safe as you can be. But for me, maybe for a while, I think, I'll use technology in this respect where it's like, maybe I'll keep shit on a technology level for a while and then not cross over into, like, in other words, people may get mad at this, but it's like, look, it's going to only be online, bitch. It's going to only be FaceTime, bitch. We're going to do FaceTime. We're going to talk on the phone, bitch. But until I can sense and feel like maybe I'll feel safe with meeting up with the person. And I think that's where I'm just at in general, how I'm going to start things. If I have to meet people online, you know what I'm saying? If that's going to be the new normal, right? Then it's going to stay that way. It's going to be like, well, we'll do FaceTime to be fair, so each other can see each other. We'll do the FaceTime. We'll talk. We'll do all of that. But there will be no meeting up until I really feel comfortable. I'm going to be looking for patterns. I'm going to be looking for subtle things that I feel in the energy exchange. I'm going to be feeling into all of that, the consistency of things, how we're flowing throughout all of these conversations and so forth. Then I'm going to be like, okay, if I feel like a green light, where it's like, now it's to the next phase, which is meeting at some rando spot. And then depending on what I feel there is going to tell me whether or not, you see where I'm going? I guess that's the only thing that I could suggest, outside of us meeting people the old school way. But anyway, I just wanted to have some fun with y'all and mess with y'all and get y'all thinking about the same shit I'll be laughing about. Like, man, things are different now. And I'm not with all of this shit, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. But I'm not impressed, okay, with a lot of the things that people are impressed by nowadays. I'm not impressed by that. So in other words, I'm not shallow, man. I'm not shallow. I like things like the next person, but I'm not shallow. I'm more interested in substance than I am the shallow shit. And I feel like that's a part of the downfall of online arena. Majority of these people are shallow. I'm telling you, majority of those people be shallow. Even the ones that ain't even that damn attractive be having the nerve to be fucking shallow. They be shallow, and that's the times we're in. Ooh, swipe left, swipe right. Copy and paste, swipe left. You see what I'm saying? It's actually distasteful for me. When I smell that and I sense it, it's a turn off. It's like, well, shit, well, what makes you different? Hell, anybody can look good, bitch. Come on, shit. Who are you behind all of that? What are you? Who are you? What's your fucking character like? What's your fucking heart? You know what I'm saying? Behind all of your fancy shit. And I'm talking men and women. So again, this is not biased either way. I'm not impressed by that. Oh, motherfucker got a house, they got a business, I don't care. Because if you got a nasty stank ass, you know what I'm saying, I'm really turned off by you. If you're a pretentious snob and thinking that you're better than everybody, I'm turned off by you. Because you probably couldn't survive 5 days in the end time apocalypse, bitch, because you're fucking privileged ass. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't have to. Oh, shit. I don't have time for that. I'm more interested in people's heart space, their character, and everybody's got a past, so it's not that people need to be perfect, but who are they and who are they continually becoming? Have they learned from their past mistakes? Everybody's got a past. You know what I'm saying? But who are they now? You know, for real, for real, for real. Not the show we put on, but for real. Because you can feel that energy, by the way, you guys. When you start getting keen on being able to read energy, you can feel that energy. No matter what a person is trying to put on before you, in front of you. If they got some secret stank nasty, you know what I'm saying, secrets that they're still dealing with, you'll feel it. If they're still a part of some dark fuckery, you'll feel that as well. No matter how much they try to, you know what I'm saying, put on a show. No, I've changed. Sure. You got to read the energy. Okay. And that's what I'm about. Are you a humanitarian or are you a communal narcissist? Those two different types, two totally different groups of individuals. True humanitarians versus a communal narc. But they look similar on first glance. I'm interested in connecting with humanitarian energy. Right? Do you value people? What are your values? Are you loving and adoring stuff and objectifying humans? See, I'm going to be paying attention to all of that because it should be the other way around. Loving and adoring humans. Objectifying things as they ought to be because they're just things. They should not be placed in value above human connection. The reason why I'm paying attention to that, you guys, because it's going to tell me something. You guys may say, well, why? It's going to give me a storyline. It's going to tell me something about that person's pattern. When the rubber meets the road, it's going to give me the blueprint of how they're going to conduct life. Will they sell you out? Will they throw you under the bus for 50 cents? It's going to give you something. But how do you do this nowadays? How do you set up the stage to even get there? Now, I have been fortunate, I will say. I've been fortunate after relocating from Sodom and Gomorrah, after relocating from Las Vegas, Nevada. That's Sodom and Gomorrah, by the way. When y'all hear me say Sodom and Gomorrah or Babylon, I'm talking about, Las Vegas, Nevada. But as I got away from there, I have been fortunate in this respect. Okay, I think I told y'all I went out on a date. Okay, I was chit chatting. Whoa, I was chit-chatting with one. It was a couple few motherfuckers, okay, interested. But I only had went out on a date and was chit-chatting with one, okay? And I was fortunate to be able to pick up a lot of stuff and do a lot of my testers early. And so I'm happy for that because, wow, I didn't waste a lot of time. I didn't have to compromise my own integrity. I didn't have to allow myself to be fondled and all sorts of things. And I didn't, what I'm saying? I just didn't get way too caught up. I put certain parameters in very early and they were tests. It wasn't a game, it was a test. Because if it's legit, the way I felt, it's like, okay, if this is a legit mutual interest, getting to know each other, friendship, woody, 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 woo, then they'll pass with flying colors. It's not going to be an issue. So I started sniffing it out early, and I think they knew I was sniffing it out too. Yeah, they did. It was like, yeah, this shit won't be getting no free. You're damn straight, right? You're damn straight. The only thing that I kind of wish that maybe I would have done a little bit differently in this situation, as I'm like reflecting on that, it would be, they did know where I live. Okay, that's the only thing I don't like. That's the only thing I don't like about the situation, because they know where I live. Okay, I'm not saying that they're necessarily crazy, but I don't like that they did know where I live. And it was for a couple of reasons. One time I had saw a snake and I was all flipping out. and they came over. It was outside. It wasn't in my house. It was outside. They never came inside my house. And so, but that's the only thing I regret. Moving forward, I don't see myself being too quick to give that information, probably for at least a good month. And depending on what's taking place within that month time would determine if it moves, to the next phase. But anywho, I'm going to get going. I will be back, you guys, for sure. I'm not quite sure what reading is going to be about. I was hearing, are they doing magic on me? Are they doing black magic on me? Are they doing black magic on me? So if I feel guided, I may come in and it may be a reading about whoever y'all out there asking, are they doing black magic on you? And then we'll pick up who they are. We'll get the initials and, whoop-de-woo, de-woo. But we'll see. Okay. All right. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I hope you enjoyed this little off the cuff, unstructured little mini discussion. Maybe it'll serve you to figure out how you're going to do dating in 2022 if you're single, because I'm like, I'm in beast mode right now too. Since I'm in beast mode, I'm like, folks subject to die. I'm like, most motherfuckers subject to die. I mess around him. Because that's where I'm at with this shit. It's a reason for this. I ain't playing 9 games. I ain't going to blink. And it's going to be totally legal, bitch. It's going to be like, it's going to be self-defense, bitch. Oh, you looking kind of strange. I think I got to pop you. Bye-bye, baby. Bye-bye, baby. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But I'm not. Oh, Bloomy Bloom is in position. She went away and she's been training in 2 different ways. So she is fully ready to deal with what she has to deal with. If she got to. It's going to be night, bitches. You know what I'm saying? She going to skip shit. She going to skip off with her Catwoman suit on, bitch. Be like, motherfucker, shouldn't have fucked with me, bitch. Sorry. They shouldn't have tried, bitch. All right, guys, I'm going to stop acting up. I'll be back. Talk to you guys later.